Most people over 50 start their mornings with routines they've followed for decades. But there's one habit almost everyone does without thinking. And it causes an immediate spike in blood pressure within minutes of waking up. Today, you'll understand exactly why it happens, what's going on inside your body, and the simple correction that helps keep your pressure stable throughout the day. Let's start with the core issue. Standing up too quickly right after waking. This is the morning mistake that affects millions of older adults. It sounds harmless, but here's the science behind why it instantly elevates your blood pressure. When you wake up, your body is still shifting from night mode to day mode. During sleep, your blood pressure naturally drops. Your heart rate slows, your blood vessels relax, and blood pools in the lower part of your body. This is normal. But when you suddenly stand up the moment you open your eyes, your body has to make a fast adjustment. Your brain needs blood flow immediately. To compensate for the quick change in height and gravity, your nervous system triggers a rapid squeeze of your blood vessels. This is called vascular constriction, and it happens in seconds. It's your body's way of making sure the brain doesn't run low on oxygen. But after 50, those blood vessels don't respond as smoothly as they used to. They constrict harder. The heart pumps faster. The pressure rises more aggressively than in younger people. This pressure jump is called a postural blood pressure response, and the spike can be more dramatic if you're dehydrated, low on electrolytes, didn't sleep well, or take certain medications. Even one night of poor sleep makes the morning spike more intense because stress hormones like cortisol rise early in the morning, making blood vessels more reactive. Another layer to this problem is stiffness. As you age, your arteries gradually lose elasticity. They don't expand and contract as easily. When you stand up too fast, instead of gently adjusting, they tighten rapidly. This makes the temporary pressure spike stronger and more noticeable. Over time, repeating this pattern every morning contributes to morning headaches, dizziness, fatigue, and unnecessary strain on the cardiovascular system. Most seniors think the instant pressure spike happens because of age alone. In reality, it's the speed of the transition from lying down to standing that triggers it. Even healthy adults with normal blood pressure experience this reflex. But after 50, the magnitude becomes larger because of slower regulation and reduced vascular flexibility. Now let's break down the correction, a small adjustment that stabilizes your pressure for the rest of the day. The key is giving your body a few seconds to activate its natural pressure balancing mechanism. When you wake up, instead of sitting up immediately, start by taking a slow breath. Wiggle your toes, move your ankles, and gently bend your knees. This activates the calf muscles, also known as your second heart, because they help push blood upward. Bringing circulation back online before standing reduces the demand on your heart and prevents the sudden rise in pressure. After 10 to 15 seconds, shift to a seated position on the edge of your bed. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Let gravity do its job gradually. This allows your blood vessels time to tighten at a stable pace instead of snapping into action. Stay seated for another 10 to 15 seconds. If you feel stable, then stand up smoothly, not suddenly. Another morning mistake that compounds the pressure spike is skipping hydration. Overnight, you lose fluid through breathing and sweating, even if you don't notice it. When you stand up dehydrated, your blood volume is lower. The body reacts more aggressively to compensate, and the morning pressure increase becomes sharper. Drinking a glass of water within your first 10 minutes of waking replenishes that volume and eases the load on your cardiovascular system. A third factor is morning screen exposure. Checking a phone instantly increases sympathetic nervous system activity, the alert system. Bright screens and notifications stimulate the body into a stress response. When combined with a sudden stand-up, this exaggerates the blood pressure rise. Delaying screen use for the first few minutes reduces this combined spike. Another overlooked contributor is holding your breath when getting out of bed. Many people unconsciously do it while pushing themselves upright. Holding your breath increases chest pressure, which temporarily reduces blood returning to the heart. When you release the breath, the pressure surges upward. This makes the morning spike even more intense. Focusing on steady breathing during movement prevents this effect. Food timing also plays a role. Eating too early, especially salty or processed foods, can amplify morning elevations because cortisol is naturally higher at sunrise, making your body more sensitive to sodium. Waiting 20 to 30 minutes before your first meal and choosing low-sodium options helps stabilize pressure during the morning window. Even stretching wrong can cause a spike. Deep forward bending immediately after waking increases pressure inside the chest and head. A better method is gentle upright stretches that open the chest instead of compressing it. Caffeine timing is also important. Coffee raises blood pressure slightly in everyone, but after 50 the response can be stronger if consumed immediately upon waking. Waiting at least 45 to 60 minutes allows cortisol to settle, reducing the combined spike effect. Light exposure influences morning blood pressure too. Bright sunlight signals your body to increase alertness hormones. If your eyes go from darkness to harsh light instantly, the cardiovascular system activates more abruptly. Gradual light exposure gives the body time to adapt. Your sleeping position from the night before also affects your morning pressure. Sleeping curled tightly or with elevated legs can increase blood pooling, which exaggerates the stand-up spike. A neutral position with slight elevation of the upper body can help. Finally, not warming up your muscles before walking is another mistake. Moving from a complete rest state to immediate motion forces the heart to ramp up circulation rapidly. A slow transition lowers the cardiovascular demand and reduces that first-hour pressure load. All these elements combine to create the typical morning spike many adults over 50 deal with daily. But most of it comes back to the original mistake, standing up too fast. Correcting this one habit leads to smoother blood pressure transitions, better balance, reduced dizziness, improved morning stability, and less strain on the cardiovascular system over time. A few seconds of gradual movement in the morning might feel small, but it supports the natural regulation systems that keep blood pressure stable throughout the day.